This DSA one UGA fan rant and opinions. Congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs for winning the SEC championship. Should have did this then, but I had a lot going on. And also, congratulations to UGA for losing to Notre Dame. I ain't even mad that UGA lost to Notre Dame. We have been watching UGA all season struggle to win games and then actually get beat by teams who were better. KB, I watched some of his video this morning where he was talking mad trash as usual about UGA. It's well deserved. But the thing that tripped me out from what he had said, and I think I heard some other people say it too, that winning the SEC championship don't matter. You got to be a complete moron to think that it don't matter. That'd be the whole reason why these young men go to these Power 4 schools to win a championship and then to advance now into the playoff. You don't go to these schools just to go to the playoff, because if that was the case, bowl games wouldn't supply these schools with so much money. But this goes back to what I've been saying, and I'm going to keep saying it until Kirby either leaves or gets a better offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach, O-line coach, or whatever. He needs to start putting in these backup quarterbacks throughout the season so they can be better prepared for situations such as these. I'm in UGA, like 2 UGA Facebook groups, and a lot of these fans are delusional. They mad talking about Bobo can't run, catch, throw, block, or none of that. True, he can't. But he can also draw up plays that actually, I ain't going to say they actually work, because every play is not going to always work 100% of the time. That's not going to happen. But one thing I noticed that he went away from that he had did all this year was some goddamn screen passes. He didn't really throw not one screen pass his whole this game with Notre Dame. I wonder why. Probably because he finally realized the shit don't work. And then on top of that, you can't run screen passes with a garbage ass line. The left guard is what caused that fumble that Gunner had. And then the young the young man on the sideline that ran into the ref, that killed the drive too. It was a multitude of things that killed Georgia last night. And I'm not even mad about it. I know most fans gonna be upset. They're gonna be like, fire Bobo this, fire Bobo that. I get it. I know BA gonna probably get on here in the morning, later on this morning, and talking like, oh, well, Bobo did the same as Monken did, but Monken won 2 national championships with a scrambling quarterback, which is what Gunner is, a scrambling quarterback, and Kirby and Bobo refused to put the boy in. Not only that, you got Puglisi, who's, I think, is also a scrambling quarterback. Not only that, you got Jaden Rashada, who just got there. Mind you, Puglisi and Jaden are both redshirt freshmen, or at least Puglisi is a redshirt sophomore, and Rashada is a redshirt freshman. You got 3 sets of QBs that got wheels, and you will not use them. Never mind the drop passes that the Georgia leads, I think the FBS or the SEC, or probably both, leads in dropped passes. One thing Monken did that Bobo don't do, he don't use the tight ends as much. Mind you, they drop some passes too. But one thing that I noticed that Monken did with the tight ends, he would send them up the seam route in between both the safeties into the middle of the field. I say 8 to 9 times out of 10, they wide open. That's 10 to 15 yards almost every time. Bobo don't do that. Bobo relies more on wide receivers than tight ends. Another thing that made me mad from watching the game yesterday, it was a lot of times that Gunner could have ran, but it's like they told him to hold on to the ball. look for something to open up downfield. Gunner really didn't even have the time to do that because they was blitzing him. And then they weren't even blitzing him a lot. They was just getting home. Kirby, to me, and I said this before in the Facebook group, has built up this atmosphere of next man up. What the hell is the next man up? KB kind of made a point where he was saying, and a couple other people have made a point where NIL is leveling the playing field. No, it's not. Because NIL and transfer portal. No, it's not. Because if you got a player like a Bear Alexander who got an NIL, left, went to another school, didn't do nothing, then went to another school, he ain't really proved himself yet. So NIL ain't doing nothing. You done paid the Tennessee QB a couple mil. What did he do? Got blown out against Ohio State. So stop blaming. I'm so sick of y'all blaming the NIL for players being not as good as advertised. I told y'all about 2 years ago, as a matter of fact, about 2 years ago now, how you resolve the NIL situation. Every school, at least in the Power 4, give a base pay for each position. If you're a quarterback, I don't give a damn if you're a 5-star or a 1-star, and you're a quarterback and you get onto that team, this is your base pay. Now, if you get a Bojangles, I forgot what you call it. I want to say scholarship, but that's not the word. Sponsorship. If you get a sponsorship from Nissan, Bojangles, Sneakers, something like that, that's your money. That goes to you. But as far as NIL go, these schools, I seen that they paid, not they paid, but that Oregon paid either 20 or 23 million for the team that they got, and they got mollywopped by Ohio State. No, I take that back. Oregon paid 23 million, Ohio State paid 20 million. Look what happened. It ain't always the money, it's the players. Well, the transfer portal is killing college football. Do y'all realize the majority of the transfer portal players are between 3 and 5 stars? They either didn't play, got mad because they got benched, and then you got some that just never seen the field at all. And let me reiterate that. What I mean by didn't play, you maybe seen the field 5 times the whole 3 years you were there. Or 2 years you were there. And then on the backhand side of me saying you didn't play, like you actually seen the field 0 times the whole time you was there. So I should have rephrased that better. But that's basically what I'm getting at. Because you got, I'm glad Nitro Tuggle came back. The young man caught some fire passes. And a lot of people were saying Gunner couldn't throw. I was saying this last year or the year before last. Gunner got an arm. He might not have the accuracy at that point. When I seen him in spring game, as a matter of fact, last year, it was Carson Beck starting season. I said the dude got an arm. I seen that 2 years ago. He got an arm. He just didn't have the accuracy to get it there. It's like now he got it. He was throwing some of the nicest passes across the middle that opened up the offense. Excuse me. To help out what was going on. And it was like, okay, we finna try this trash ass run game. When ETN was at Florida, Florida had a trash team, but they opened up the run game for him, which made him devastating. He get to Georgia, he ain't got shit to work with. Another thing KB said, he said, God dang, Kirby Smart is Dabo Swinney 2.0. I was saying he was more like Mark Richt 2.0 because of the play calling. It's basically true. This is what I was afraid Georgia was going to turn into. Win two national championships and become slightly above average. You lose it, you turning into Mark Richt in the regards of you're losing to Alabama, like Mark Richt lost to Florida. You can win a lot of the big games, but you have weapons and won't use them. Then you talking about, no, not you, but you know what I mean, just using the word you. Hypothetically speaking, Hines Ward said he wanted to come and coach at Georgia as far as your wide receivers coach. And then I'm saying this in a sense to Kirby. You still ain't brought that man on to the squad. Oh yeah, also Terrence Edwards say he wouldn't mind coming up. You got two previous Bulldog players that played on some of the baddest teams, and you would not bring them on. This should have shown Kirby that he needs somebody to help these wide receivers, because there's no way in hell that you drop all these damn passes throughout the season. You lead the league in drop passes. Rah got in trouble. That helped kill his whole get together. I was looking up some of the players in the transfer portal now. I think it's 7 of them. Nitro was one of them, but he jumped back onto the squad, and he could have been more of a weapon outside of Arian Smith and Dylan Bell. I'm not even really disappointed with the players as much as I am with the coaches, because you see this problem has been going on all season. What was the mindset going into this? We knew the wide receiver room was hurting from the beginning of the season. Before the beginning of the season, you have so many wide receivers on the squad, from freshmen to juniors. Now, I'm not even counting seniors because they're gone. I mean, they're going to leave. You got so many wide receivers that you could have used, and tight ends that you could have used and did not use them. What could be the reason? They don't understand the playbook. They got academic troubles. I'm not even talking about the ones that got in trouble with the law, like the one young dude that was on a high-speed chase and all that, and he just said, "Bump it, I'm gonna go ahead and leave." Understandable. Rah, same thing. Understandable. But then we had Pope that came from Alabama, who's a safety. When I seen him in the one game that I did actually get a chance to see him in, he played pretty good. As a matter of fact, he damn near knocked somebody out. He got called for targeting. Why is he not getting more playing time? And then a lot of these Facebook goofies talking about y'all just some armchair coaches. You don't have to be a coach to understand the game and see bullshit when it's right there in front of you, you dumbass. Like, they kill me with this shit. Oh, you should have applied for the job too then. I can study how to be a physicist and not have the qualifications to be there, but I still understand how physics work. You don't have to have a degree or some type of qualification to understand how something works. Shade tree mechanics studied what they were doing, didn't have the credentials to say that they were mechanic, and they were better than actual mechanics who got the degree. I'm not saying anybody that's a fan is better than Kirby Smart at what he's done, because he has done it for so long. But what a lot of us rational fans are saying is, if you see the bullshit, change it up. This is one thing I like about Lane Kiffin, not Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, for instance. I forgot the other coach's name. They see their quarterback struggling, they put the backup in and let the backup take over. Kirby would not do that, and this is going to be a detriment to him. Gunner should have been playing earlier in the season. Nate Frazier should have got more touches in the season. And then another thing is, there's another running back. I take that back. I'm thinking about the transfer class is getting ready to come in. Georgia's losing, I want to say, 7 transfers and gaining 11. I think I maybe seen 3 linemen on that list. I could be wrong. But when you see this type of situation, and then you have one of the best recruiting staffs, mind you, 3 of your top recruiters are all at different schools. Syracuse, well, one of them is no longer at Michigan State. Syracuse, Michigan State, and Oregon. And then I hear these media heads talking about, oh, they got another recruiter. He might not be he's probably just as good as the one that left. Apparently not, because this whole recruiting class right here is trash. And I'm not talking about these players as individuals. They could be some of the nicest, coolest, noblest young men that's out there, but as far as they gameplay go, fucking trash. I'm talking about your ability on the field, not who you are. You are fucking trash. And I blame that on the coaches. I blame it on the recruiting staff. I'm not going to blame them young men for being out there playing trash. I blame that on them. Y'all get paid millions of dollars to put these young men on the field that look like pure garbage, know they look like garbage, and then going to turn around and say, well, we didn't have nobody else to put in their place. Why not? Well, the transfer portal. So you mean to tell me the guys that came in behind them weren't good enough to play? On top of that, I know you're not going to be able to get every 4 or 5 star offensive, defensive lineman to come in and help. But the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that are behind them, why are they not developed enough to keep the game going when you need them to? That sounds like a developmental problem to me. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how many UGA fans that see this video after I drop it get mad and leave. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. We've been seeing this shit all season and nothing has changed. And y'all still willing to accept mediocrity just because, oh, I'd rather ride out with the team if they win by 1 or win by 100. Fuck that. You wouldn't be saying that if somebody was making your food, whether they had the best ingredients or trash ingredients. You wouldn't be saying that if somebody was working on your vehicle, if they had the best parts or the trash parts. You wouldn't say that in no facet of life, but you would accept that shit for this facet of life. You fucking trash. You a trash ass fan. I'm more excited about next year than I am about this year. Gunner actually showed he can get up out of it. We might actually be able to do something in 2025. Willing that the offensive lineman goddamn get some help, and he get some help at wide receiver. I was reading an article last night talking about they need 1 star wide receiver. No, they need about 3. That's why LSU was so devastating when Joe Burrow was there. He had about 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a tight end. Georgia, to a degree, has it, but not really. I'm going to end it here for right now. This DSA 1 UGA fan rant opinion. I'm out.